Good morning to you all. I think we will now start the. I think some time ago I was talking something about Unit 9. I don't know how many of you are there. I don't know. The Unit 9 was designing of information storage and retrieval system. I think some of you must have been there. You can answer. You can unmute and then answer when I am talking. Then I think you got that. Okay. So today we will take up the next unit. Am I audible to you all? వినిపిస్తుందా మీ అందరికి?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything is there, you can always raise a voice. అడగండి మీరు. Any questions are there, you can always ask me. That's not a problem. I think today we are going to talk something about another unit. Its name is file organization in ISAR systems. I'm sure you know what is ISAR system. Information Storage and Retrieval System. This is a system in which what you happens is you store some information, maybe the documents, maybe the metadata of the documents, maybe some other things, maybe graphs, pictures, photos, anything that could be there in your storage as a database. So in information storage control system, the most important thing is a database. Okay, database is there are some data, there is some information that can be of any kind, numerical, textual, graphs, photos, anything can be there. That is really been stored. The stored data is your database. Okay? And then what really happens is you are really going to, there shall be a kind of user community who wants some information. They really go and make some search. So database is there, the users are there. There are search techniques and search strategy or search methods are also there. Then of course, when you make a question, the database will really answer you, the matched ones that you retrieve. So these are all the 4 5 or the components in an information storage and retrieval system, ISAR system. Information storage and retrieval. There is some information you store, storage there, storage is there. Something is you are retrieving. Who are retrieving is our user. Okay, what you are retrieving is what you are stored there. That's all. That's the information system. Sorry, some inconvenience now. Okay. So that is what we say IASR system. Then, so you know that in an information storage and retrieval system, you have a database. Okay, that's number one. So what is a database? Database is your storage, correct? Na? Information storage, information retrieval. Two important components. Storage is your database. So what we are talking in this today's discussion is file organization in ISAR systems. How the files are organized in ISAR systems. So when we really want to know what is the file, file is a collection of homogeneous records. There are several records will be there. The first important thing what should really know is file is nothing but it's a set of homogeneous, same structured. Homogeneous means similar thing. So in one record, what kind of information you're writing will be the same in the second kind of thing, but the information content will be different, but the information fields may be varying. So in some record you are talking about Ranganathan, in another record you are talking about your teacher Kiran, in another record you are talking about Swaminathan, another record. So these are all, every record will have the name of the person. That component is common. So the structurally, what you, so he is an author will be there, title will be there, edition will be there, imprint will be there. These are all the fields in each and every record. So each record will have the similar kind of fields. So in some record, say for example, office address, in some record only home address, in some record only author name, in some record only title. It's not like that. So all the, the records will have a same structure, that we call homogeneous records. Records are all same, similar. Content may be varying, but the fields are going to be same. What is the field? Author is a field, title is a field, edition is a field, and so on. Okay, so like that. So every file will contain some records, some entries in your catalog. If you consider catalog is your file, in a catalog you have got so many cards are there, isn't it? Catalog entries are there. Okay, those entries are nothing but they are the records. So file consists of, in a catalog there are several hundreds and thousands of records. That is, catalog entries will be there, catalog cards will be there. Each and every card probably you are calling it as a record. There are several records put together in your catalog file. Catalog is a file containing several records or entries. Now each and every entry you have got an author field, title field, etc., will be there. So a record contains fields. Several records put together is a file. This is the basic notion. So this file we are talking about a database. Okay. So what they are talking today's lesson is file organization in information storage and retrieval systems. That is our topic. That is our area, what we are really going to discuss now. Okay, so now you know it that every file contains some records. All the records are homogeneously structured. Same structure records will be there. Content may be different, but structure of the record is really going to be the same. That's exactly you have to. At the same time, now in a database, in an information storage and retrieval system, these records or the information contained in the records. What is that information? Different fields, no? Author, title, etc. So these records are handled by a software. Okay, in a database, it's a computerized database. So it is a computer, prepared, database. You have in a machine readable form, in a computerized form, in a digital form, isn't it? So that database is not going to search by, you see, our manual methods. Computer is really going to search for you. If it is a manual catalog, you can search physically, go and search it. If it is a computerized catalog, computer should search it, isn't it? It's a computerized database we are talking normally. So database is a computerized file. Okay, we call it a database. Database contains records. Records are uniformly structured. Every record will have some fields. In each and every field about each and every document, etc., what you have got in your library, you are putting all the information into them in different fields. In author field about the author information, in title field about the title of the document, and something like that. It's how you really go ahead, isn't it? So this is what exactly you really know. As far as what is this file, which file you are talking about? I am talking about the database. I am talking about the information stored database. That's called information storage. And why you are storing the information there? Because then somebody will really come and ask for some information from the storage, from the database. I am going to make a search on that and then retrieve information and make a search on that. Say, for example, I want something like Yuddhanapudi Sulochana Rani's some so and so book is required. Yandamuri Virendranath so and so book is. So, Virendranath Yandamuri, you search on the database file. If any kind of matchings are there, the computer will show you on Yandamuri Virendranath, this Tulasi book is there, so and so book is there, etc. Then, whichever you really want, you can make a selection and retrieve it. So, you can take it out and then they will really indicate you. Now, this particular book is really being kept in the shelf at the so and so class number, at so and so serial number, the rack, etc. Like so, then take the number and then go on take the book. Like so, this is exactly the process. It goes on in information storage and retrieval system. So why we really doing this information storage retrieval system? In order for so smooth, instant, quick retrieval of the exact information what you really want. Say when I'm really going to search for something like let me say information storage and retrieval is my search query, then I should get only information on that particular topic only, no other things, like no additional noise, no unnecessary items. At the same time, the whatever I really want, I should only get neither lesser than that or more than that. Say for example, if there are an information storage retrieval system, when I'm making a search on ISR, now if it can give only 5 items out of 10 items in the database is incorrect. If I am there are only 10 items are there, if it gives only 30 items, again from those 30 items, when I have to make a filter, which is relevant, which is not relevant, etc., that kind of noise, that kind of unnecessary items I am not expecting. I want exactly that information what I want from the database. That is exactly the idea. So the correct information only. Okay. So
Means accurate information.
yeah, accurate, exact, accurate information. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Sir,
Are you able to listen to me?
yes, sir. You can.
Yeah, I think I come on to the mobile now. Earlier I was on the phone. There's some problem. It's getting some. Okay. Now
Okay.
let us now discuss. Go ahead. So information storage retrieval system, in that how the files are organized. That's our area. That's what we are going to really discuss now. The first important thing is that uh, the first important aspect is that now if you could try to look into the files, file is a set of records. In each record, probably you are going to talk something, you are going to record something about each and every book. You have got 10 books are there with you. Then there are you are going to be 10 records. Okay, for each book, one record, like that. Unlike in your manual catalog, in our computer catalog, what really happens is there shall be only one recorder for one book. That is to be correctly understood by you all. Okay. So now, when you know that uh, the files can be, you can really say that file organization. We are talking about how the files in a database can be organized, how the files can be arranged. When I say the files arrangement is nothing but within a file, how the records are arranged. That is to be understood by you all. So when I say file organization, we are not talking about one file, two file, etc. Within the file, there are so many records are there. How you are filing them, how you are arranging them. Why you have to arrange? If you can arrange the records in a better way, you can retrieve easily. So your retrieval will be comfortable, easy, instant, quick, if you can really arrange them properly. If you don't arrange them properly, your retrieval is really going to be a big problem. So that's the reason now we are focusing our talk only on how best we should really able to arrange all the records within the file, within a file. So that is the most important aspect. Like, so in that context, the file organization can be, it can be physical, structural, and logical aspects. You can arrange them logically, all authors at one place. Okay, all titles of the documents at one place. Okay, all Indian publishers' books are you don't know. You have some your own way method. You can really put them. Maybe all the files are arranged alphabetically. Maybe all the files are arranged chronologically as per they are really been the books etc. They're published. So like that, you have some kind of logical sequence can be there. Structure wise, how they should be there. Okay. So the structure of the file means within the record of each, what kind of structure should be there. Whether you can have, there are, say, for example, try to understand me. There is a, for example, in one record, now you have got 10 fields are there. Say author field is one, title field is one, edition field is one, year of publication is one, ISBN is another field, etc. These are the fields. Now, say for example, now year of publication can be only 4 digits. Correct, na? Whether it can be 1994 or 2024, it could be something like that. Correct, na? There will be only, we use only 4 digits to say year of publication. So then if you really want to talk about title of the book, title of the book can be something like Algae. There are 5 letters are there. An introduction to the theory and principles of economics. Maybe there are 20 words are there. The other book is there. So there is a book title may be really lengthy sometimes. Author name, there can be small, shorter names are there. Long names are also there. Some people, Adepalli, Appala, Narasimha Raju. Isn't it? So if that is the case, what happens? You need to really have so many character spaces required, so much of length of the name will be there. So what really happens is when you are really going to have the file, within the file, when I am talking about file organization, I am talking about the organization of records in the file. Do you understand this concept? Yes or no? So I am not talking about file organization, nothing but it's the organization of records within the file. That is to be understood by you all. It's a very important aspect. Then, of course, followed by that, structurally, how it should be there. At the same time, physically, whether it should be, say, for example, let me say it should be in a print book form, in a card form, it can be in a magnetic tape, it can be in a disk, it can be in online only in say, for example, in the kind of some other context. So these are all the physical. It can be physically, it can be organized, it can be organized in a structurally, you can organize them. Logically also you can organize. These are the 3 methods and 3 ways of organizing files. Okay, now let's really go into the file and record structure, how they really be arranged in a database. So if you really wanted to look into that, now you know very well that the records are arranged. What really happens in the library? Today I got some books. Yesterday I was already having some books. So you are preparing a list of the books. You are preparing the records for the books. So yesterday's books were there. There is, let me say, 100 books were there yesterday in my particular database or in my library. Now today I have got another 5 books are there. Now these 5 books are appended to the existing file, added to the existing database. Some new books have come. The new book records I am adding at the end. Okay. So that is what the way, how normally the records are really been added.
into the database. Like in this kind of thing, now what really happens? Not only just appending and adding first come first. Okay. Yesterday there were 10 books were there. Another 2 books have come today. Tomorrow another 2 more books come. There were 10. Now these 2 are added at the end. So it goes on like that. This is what normal way of doing it. But at the kind of, in the situation of how these records are organized, how the file is really organized in a computerized system, the first method is called linear sequential files. Sequential files. Linear, in a line, one by one after the other. All the things you are really been adding there. That's what exactly we call it. It's a linear or sequential form. We can also call them as unordered collection of records. There is no order in that, except the order is that first come first serve. That's the only order. But I want, say, for example, let me say, I want the book by so and so author. So there are 100 books are there. My particular author book, where it is, I don't know. I have to see first file, second file, third record, fourth record, 10th record, 20th. Maybe at the record number 65, the book I am asking is available. Then what happens? I have to search 1, 2, 3, 4 in the sequence, because my records are arranged sequentially, and my search must be also in the sequence only. First file, no. Second file, no. So you have to eliminate like that and go one by one, one by one, one by one. It takes a lot of time. That's not a convenient method. I'm sure you understood it. So arranging the records within a file in a linear sequence, expecting something, okay, which is really, we don't know where it is lying. If you really want to search for it, it takes more time. So therefore, we call it as, this is an unordered. There is no order in that. Had I really arranged them alphabetically, some order is there. Had I arranged them author-wise, some order is there. Had I arranged them year of publication-wise, some order is there. There is no order. First come first, you are simply adding there in a linear way, in a sequential way. Therefore, these files, we call them as unordered files or unordered collection of records. And in this, what really happens is the records or the new records are added at the end. That's all. And when you really wanted to find out one particular item, now what happens in libraries. There are sometimes some big libraries, a few lakhs of books are there. Now you want to have a particular book from this kind of file. Then what really happens? So you have to waste a lot of your time. It is not at all really been a viable, file structure, a suitable file structure in a database system, in a database called in information storage retrieval system. You need to have some order is always required. Difficult to locate a file. Then what happened in this? Some people have some remedy, they really said. Now they said something, a better, this is a sequential file only. It's a linear file only. It is an unordered files only, but still they wanted to have some order in that. Say, for example, all the books starting with the author's names with the alphabet A are all put in one cabinet. Say, for example, in one group. All the authors' names with B, starting with the B alphabet, are put in another, the group, like another, So this C something like that, etc., etc., etc. Some people have put it. So that what happens, if you know the author name is, say, Arabindo, you can really search only on, say, for example, alphabet A only. That's easy. You don't need to see B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, Z, etc. You don't need to search. Your search is slightly, it is comfortable for you. This is what exactly we say. This is a grouped kind of linear files only, but grouped kind of files with little order into that. We call them as clustered. Cluster means grouping. Clustered file. A group file, B group file, C group file, D group file, etc., etc. Or otherwise, what happens? Book published in 1990s, book published in 20s, 2020. Say book published in 2010, book published in 2000. Book published in 1990s. Like that you put it. Okay, that's also another grouping only. Correct? Na? Provided, if that is the way the people ask for information, you can really group them. So that some convenience will be there. So within the linear list, the other method, what we can really call it as the clustered files, are nothing but these are the grouped files. Under group A, under group B, group alphabet C, etc., you file them. This is what exactly we call the linear list. Slightly better one is called group clustering like. Then second one is ordered sequential files. Within the sequential file, there is some order we set. Just now I told you, something like you put with A, etc., coming and all those things. So that kind of things, what we really say is, now you are trying to make some kind of groups. So instead of putting everything as a one whole big mass, you have really divided the entire mass into some kind of sections, so some kind of groups. And then, of course, you are really going to make a search on that. So something like that, what happens? So this is really going to be a little bit easy. Even say, for example, in a file, now there is one method is really there. So if you really wanted to, there is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H files are there. Now you really wanted to make a search on C file. Okay. Now the file beginning with the record beginning with C, you really want to search like. Now what really happens? First, it will really go the initial comparison. We to go to the middle point of that A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. It goes to middle point, and then the first point it searches the middle one, whether the C is there in the middle. No, it is not in the middle. Then what it does is it goes upward or downward like. So then it will search on the upward on the middle path, slightly up or slightly down. So these searches will be made. Then I think in 2-3 searches, you will be able to catch hold of the C. Instead of searching A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, etc., one by one. So this is another way of when in a kind of ordered sequential files, if you can really group them and search like that, probably searching is going to be somewhat convenient, but not convenient. Not fully convenient. Thoda sa, little bit of useful. Okay. Then the best method, the most important and best method for you to arrange the files is what we can really say is inverted files, indexed files. It can be also called as indexed files. If the file can be indexed, that means what happens? Now you are indexing the file, maybe say, for example, what you can really say on the name of the author. You really create another file. Okay, index file is created. But largely when I'm really talking about indexed files, they are indexed files largely for the subject index only. The subject of the document, because the content of the document, the subject of the document, the topics contained in the document, they are indexed. I mean to say, the indexes are prepared for the content of the documents. Follow me now. So what happens? A book or a particular article is dealing with, say, for example, 3 or 4 concepts or terms are there. Something like the book is dealing with the Indian history. It is also dealing with the Indian ancient medicine system. It is also dealing with the Indian mathematics, something like that. There are 2-3 concepts are there in the book. So now what happens? Now what are the concepts are there in the book? Maybe single concept, maybe the multiple concepts. So first you identify from the particular document and give the appropriate index headings, index entries you have to prepare. While preparing, what happens? You can make use of the thesaurus. I am sure you studied thesaurus, no? Thesaurus is a controlled vocabulary tool. It gives the standard terminology to represent the subjects, isn't it? So you can use the standard words. Standard words and terms can be taken from thesaurus. You can use thesaurus while indexing the subject matter of the documents. So you prepare index file for each and every document, keep it separately. While doing so, what you can really do is, now that index term, this particular concept term is there in so-and-so book or so-and-so article, and that book call number or accession number also should be there alongside the concept term. Concept term will be there. The concept containing book number or call number also will be there. Either book number or call number, how you arranged, it will be there on that. So concept, there is a book 025.4 Prolegomena to Library Classification. This book is dealing with the library classification. Library classification is the key term. Library classification is what you can really see is the index term. The index term library classification is available where 025.4 or 19p. Ranganathan, Prolegment Library Classification. In this book, this is there. Otherwise, the book accession number will be there. 20904 is the book number. So, library classification number, classification, subject term, against that, its location number will be there. Tomorrow, when you go and search the database, you will get the library classification. But where it is available? In that particular book. The book number is also indicated there. The class number of the book is also indicated there. So, you are indexing the subject of the documents. And while doing, you are using thesaurus to use the standard terms. While giving the index terms, you are also giving the number, location number of the document. Document location number can be accession number. Document location number could be your call number or something else, whatever it may be. Whatever the number by which you arrange the documents and books, you have to give this. So that what happens, now all the books dealing with library class, we will really search it, the index file, the database, when you are retrieving it, against the search term, information retrieval or library classification, all the books, maybe in your library, there are 10 books are there in library class. One is by Mills, one is by Foskett, other one is by Ranganathan, other one is by somebody else, etc., etc. Now, what happens now? When you say library classification, the database will show you on library classification, the book number so-and-so, book number so-and-so, book number so-and-so. These are the 10 books are there in the library. You take the number and go to the racks, that number wise, and pick up the numbers and books and use it. So that's what exactly the indexing takes place. That's how the inverted file will help you in retrieving, taking out the required documents from the database. Therefore, people consider this is the ideal, the best, most suitable method is you have to create an index file for the subject matter of the documents contained in your library or whatever it may be. For a database, if you can really create an index file, arrange the index file, I think in maybe in some kind of order, maybe whatever it may be, then you can, if it is manual, you can arrange them alphabetically. Otherwise, computer, I think it will only sort out. It is according to your own requirement. Then it will really give you the information, whatever you really want it like. This is how there are three methods of, three types of file organization is there, because there can be a question to you in your examination. People, what do you mean by file organization? File are nothing but within a file there are records are there. How the records are arranged in file organization. Okay. Then of course, what are the methods of file organization? There are three methods I told you. The one is what you can say is sequential or linear order, which is also called as unordered order. The second one, what you really say is ordered sequential. Within the sequence file, there is some order maintained. Okay, then third one, what we can really say is indexed files or inverted files. I think that's really going to help you in how to really locate information from a database. This is supposed to be the best method of, okay, how much time I have got with me now? Another half an hour? Friends, somebody should answer me.
15 minutes, sir.
15 minutes, sir. Only
How much
15
time can I
minutes.
take now?
15
Another half an hour,
minutes.
40 minutes, 30 minutes, 25 minutes. Please tell me now.
No, sir. Only 15 minutes.
5015.
1-5, sir.
1-5.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's
Only
all right.
one answer.
We will quickly move on to that, I think, now. So these are all the methods how the files can be really organized in a database. And why we are organizing is for easy, fast, and accurate retrieval of information, what is really kept in the database. Okay, then let's go to there are two kinds of concepts are there. Now, the records are there in a file. Is it yes or no? A file contains several records. A record contains several fields. Is it understood or not? Somebody should answer me. Unmute and
sir.
answer quickly as if
Yes,
you are
sir.
in the class. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You please tell me. Somebody should answer. There are only limited people are there. You can unmute and you can interact with me. Absolutely. Because, so that what happens, it helps me that, you are understanding the concept. Otherwise, I have to really go in a different way. Okay. Now, the records can be of two types. Depending on now how the information is recorded in them. One is what we can really call fixed length records. The record length is fixed. It will accommodate only 9,999 character space only. We have fixed it. It accommodates only 1,000 records, 1,000 characters only. We have fixed it. Now, the author name should not exceed 20 words. We fix 20 characters. We fixed it. Okay. So, author field will be 20 characters. Title field will be 30 characters. Then, of course, edition will be 2 characters. Year of publication 4 characters. Altogether, for a single record, it should not exceed 200 characters. I have fixed it. Author field 20 characters. Title field 30 characters. Like that, I fixed. If the title is more than 30 characters, you can't write there. That is the end. If the title is only 4 words or 5 words, like say, for example, as I told you, something like ethics is there, isn't it? So there are only 5 words are there. 5 characters are there. So the remaining 25 characters, because 30 characters you assign to it, the remaining 25 characters are blank characters. They are useless for you. They don't have anything to do because the title field, you said fixed length. Fixed length is 30 character space for title. I fixed it. If anything less or more, you have to adjust there only. Okay. So if the characters are there only something botany is there. BOTANY. I think 5 characters only. So if botany is the subject term, the title of the book, isn't it? Then what happens? Only 5 characters are using. Remaining 25 characters are going to be blank characters, useless characters for you. But whether you use it or not use it, the record space, I think it go wasted and will be like that only. So this is what exactly we say is the fixed length records. That means a record contains so many fields. You know the fields: author field, title field, action number field, call number field, maybe something like imprint field, maybe year of publication field, maybe publisher field, year of... So like there are the fields. Yes, no? So now what you said in that for author field means 10 characters only, I said. Title means 20 characters only, I said. Edition means 2 characters only, I said. That's fine. Edition can be normally second edition, third edition, 50 edition, 50. So two characters is sufficient for us now. But then when it is coming to the author name and title, they are not really insufficient sometimes. Sometimes there are very extra spaces really going on. Like this is what normally happens. So in a fixed length field, now what also happens is, say for example, a book is having, there are 3 authors are there, let me say. So when the book contains more than 1 author, now we call that the author field is a repeatable field. The name author should be more than 1, no? You have to repeat another author also. You have to repeat another author also. Therefore, we call repeatable field. So, edition cannot be a repeatable field. Year of publication cannot be repeatable field. But, authors can be repeatable fields. Like there can be multiple authors, etc. Isn't it? So, in that case, these fixed length or fixed, length records, when you fixed it, you cannot add more than 1 author. Only 1 author place is given 20 characters. 1 author probably you are writing. Okay. Then second and third author, even 1 author name is slightly bigger also, you can't write it. There's 10 characters, etc. 10 characters. So that's all. Now these things cannot be, the repeatable fields information cannot be accommodated in a fixed length field. Therefore, what really happens is, now in our bibliographic files and bibliographic records, we are using variable length fields. You understand my meaning? Variable means the length of each and every record or the length of each and every field is varying, is different, is not the same. All fields size is not same. All records length is not same. So you are optimally using the records without wasting any character space in the record. Record storage space, you are not really going to waste that. You are optimally utilizing it and using it like. So in a variable length field, what really happens is, say for example, that's what in your book they mentioned the ISO 2709 standard. isn't it? So that is used for, bibliographic, machine readable bibliographic exchange data format. In that, they have really given a scope for how best you can really accommodate the bibliographic files they gave, isn't it? They said 100, say for example, if you are using 100 author, they did not fix that the author length must be this much only. Then when they say 245, when they say title, and of course, so the 245 title should be only 20 characters. They did not mention. It can be one character, it can be two characters, it can be 25, it can be 100 characters, it can be 200 characters. They did not fix it like that. So the record space you are using, how much you really require, you can use it like. So that kind of things are really possible. In a variable length record means the length of the fields in a record, they vary, they differ, they change. They are not same. They are not fixed. Okay. So in the earlier, what you said, fixed length records, the record length is fixed. Each and every field length is also fixed. The whole record, it contains 10 fields. This field is 10 characters, other field is 4 characters. So like that, totally each record will have only 200 character space. That's all. So it's fixed. The record length is fixed. In the record, the field length is also fixed. But variable length fields, it's not like that. So the difference between fixed length fields, I think variable length fields, you understood that. Variable means the length of the record, the length of the fields is different from each record, isn't it? But in a fixed length field, that is not that. It is fixed. Okay. Then fixed sequence. So there what really happens in a fixed length fields, the sequence of the fields are also fixed. It should first come action number, second come author, third come title, etc. In a variable length fields and this kind of file structure, there is no sequence. It is you are really been putting information and data about author field, author information, title field, title information only. There is no fixed order. So order is not required. When you really wanted to have a printout of that, according to ASCR2, you can get it. According to AA code, you can get it. According to CCC, you can get it. Computer will permit that. So you are not arranging them in a sequence. The sequence, etc., how you really want, the structure, how you want, computer can take them. So like that, what happens? The fields with the number of no values are filled with blank spaces in fixed length. So in a fixed length, when you give 30 characters for a title, the title is only something like algae. What happens? The remaining 25 characters are wasted. There are blank spaces only. But in a variable length field, no, not like that. Once this field is over, second field automatically it jumps onto that without wastage of any space. No space wastage will be there. Okay. Now then, this leads to overhead of the disk space in what we call fixed length field. But it's not the case here also. So like
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Pardon me.
Sir, in variable, if there is no characters, how the characters will go down, sir? Variable length record.
No. What happens? So in our computer system, what we are saying is 100. Say author name is there. 100 is equal to author. In the 100 field, author name you are entering. Okay. In 245, we call it the title. So in 245 field number, you are entering the title of the book name. So your space question doesn't arise there. How much space you are using, etc. You are entering information against the field tag number, against the field code number. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here it is not that. In a fixed length field, the field name is written author. Down that they give only 10 characters are given to you. Here it is not like that. Though the field name is written in some code number like 100 author, they give you option to you only. They won't say anything. You can write first 100. You can write 245 later. You can write 020 class number. Okay. ISBN number. You can write this first, that first, etc. No botheration. But what you are doing, you are entering the data against the field code number. This is ISBN code number. There you are entering ISBN number. This is your accession number tag. There you are entering your accession number. This is author tag number 100. There you are entering author name. So which is first, which is last, what is the sequence? This is not the botheration of the database creators like catalogers. We are not bothered about it. Anything that comes to my mind, that you are entering into the respective code number, tag number there. And that particular field you are entering. In the fixed length field is not that. So first field is always action number, second field always author, third field is the title, fourth is edition. You fixed it and it goes on like that only. You have to go like that. And this much of space is only given. These are the fields. The sequence is this. So there is no sequence here. The sequence is decided when you want the output, the printout, how you want it. I want in this style. I want this first, etc. If you can fix it, it will give a printout. The results are going to come in your own way in a kind of the variable length fields. So these are some of the impressions because there are a lot many things are there. So I will just try to say that. So for all reasons, what really happens is for us the variable length fields kind of structure of the records. Variable length structure of the records is really going to be the ideal most one. It's a really suitable one for us. So that what happens, you can really utilize it. Okay. Now then coming to point of that, what really happens in this is, okay, now in our mark record, we have a mark record structure is there. Something called, there are some 3-4 components are there. One is called label, header, or something like that. Lead, label, or header. People call it like that. Either lead or label or header. Okay. Then followed by that, there will be a directory of all each and every field. Okay. Then of course, followed by the actual data. That is followed by the record separator. Then you go to next record. So that kind of structure will be there. So that what really happens is the information containing to one item, one record will not get mixed and everything will really go smooth and all those things like. So then what happens? So then coming back to that, now in the functional approach to information retrieval, that is in information storage retrieval systems. So now what really happens is you are basically indexing, creating the indexes for the topics or the subject contained in the documents. While you are creating index file, the index heading or term heading will be there. Followed by that, this term is available in which book, that book number also will be there on that. So that's how what happens. So you are creating a database. A user comes and asks the same thing. I want something on foreign relations. Then it will go and search on the foreign relations. How many, the foreign relations having a book number 80, book number 98, book number 2040, etc., etc. It will give you. You take those numbers and go to your racks and shelves and pick up the particular, the book and then use it like. That's how exactly the information storage and retrieval system is really going to help work like this. There are, I think, so in information storage and retrieval system, honestly, what you are going, the essence of that, the most important aspect of that is what we can really say is you are precisely doing some indexing in that information storage and retrieval system. What you are doing is precisely and essentially the most important activity. What you are going to do in that is nothing but you are creating some index files. Index you are creating like, okay, index for the documents. Then of course that index, what is exactly you can really say is, now they really consist of index term and also index the document number also will be there with that. So that what happens now, you will be able to locate the documents like. There are two types of indexing. Indexing can be done manually by you and me, by human beings. Indexing doing by human beings, we call it as manual indexing. Indexing also can be done by computers. That you really call it as automatic indexing. Okay. So our machine assisted indexing, computerized indexing, machine-aided indexing, okay, or automatic indexing, you really call it like. So indexes can be prepared either by the people manually, you and me. Indexes can also be prepared by computers also. What computer does in automatic, so if it is a manual indexing, what happens? You go through the book, try to understand what are the subject matter contained in the book. Then what you really do is you try to identify the exact subject concepts contained in the book. For them, you represent by some keywords or standard terminology maybe using a thesaurus. Index terms have come. Then you are indicating some kind of document number where this kind of term is located. So that document. This is how you are doing manually. So going through the book, understanding the book, trying to understand the subject content in that, representing the subject content in the book by some kind of key terms. Those terms we really call it as controlled vocabulary terms. And then of course some. Now coming to the point of automatic indexing, what really happens is you may be doing this automatic indexing simply putting the abstract of the document into the computer, or the complete book also you can put into the computer. Then computer, what it does, sometimes you also can put only title of the document also for preparing the indexer. That's what the key term indexer, keyword indexer, keyword in context, keyword out of context, quick walk, etc. They are there. Na? So like that, you can really generate indexes for the books using the titles. You can use the indexes for the documents using both, the what you can abstract and title of the documents. You can use the entire book also for creating the computerized or automatic indexes. In that process, how it really does is, now computer will really go through the entire particular document, try to identify what are the content giving words, that is non-contextual terms. It eliminates. Stop it. In, on, over, from, below, above, etc. A to B. So this kind of words it will eliminate. A and the, over, below. So this kind of words are non-contextual words, like non-content bearing words. They don't talk about any subject, isn't it? They are only something adjuncts. They are only corollaries to really connect some words meaningfully, isn't it? Eliminating all of them, what are the specific subject related key terms are there? That will really identify. And what it also does is, it will really try to calculate how many number of times a particular keyword has really been occurring in the document. The more number of times occurring subject word, keyword will be used by the computer as an index term. Follow me now? So you as a manually, when you are doing it, you are trying to understand and give the index term. You are assigning index term there, like. But what computer does, computer cannot understand like you and me, isn't it? Computer has no capacity to understand, it has no past experience, retain thing, all. It won't it can only recognize the words, not understand the meaning of the words, isn't it? The meaning, understanding, and acting like you is not possible with the computer. Computer can only recognize the words. How many number of times a particular keyword occurred in the text? If it is more number of times, it will really put on the top. Those top few words can be used to indicate the subject of the document in automatic indexing line. Okay, that's what we really call automatic indexing. And of course, the searching is also when we are going to search it, because I will take only another 5 minutes and stop it here. Now, the searching is largely what happens. You are searching on the keywords. Sometimes what happens when you are searching the inverted files, sometimes you search, make more than one search and get it like something like, let me say library automation means once you search on library, second time on automation, then of course automated library services, automation, library and services. 3 times you search and then put them together, and then you can just what are the common books are there on those 3 sets. Probably you really say this is a book which is really going to talk about all the 3 concepts: library, automation, and retrievals, or automation and say information services like. So that's exactly in this context. I will just lastly put you one single term and close it now. So our searches are largely, it can be when the computerized searches will really allow us a wonderful search mechanism called Boolean searches. Boolean search. In that there are 3 operators are there. I'm sure some of you must be knowing it. And or not. And means what happens? And is what exactly we really want to say is, it's a kind of intersection of both the concepts. Like I say, library automation. The book should not have just only library, should not have only automation. I don't want. Automation can be office automation, automation can be industry, or anything can be automation can be there. So I am talking about library. So these 2 words, the admix of these 2 components, the intersection, okay, So intersection of these two words, I really want it. If it is a book on library, I don't want. If it is a book on automation, I don't want. I want only the book which is dealing with these two concepts together. Isn't it? That's a kind of what you say intersection of the two components we call. That's what and. In Boolean logic, if you can really use and, that means I want, say, for example, automation and India. So that automation that is done in India, I want. I don't want any other things. Automation in the US, automation and public libraries, isn't it? So these are the two things. Automation of academic libraries, I don't want. Automation of special libraries, I don't want. Automation of special libraries, I don't want. I want automation and public libraries. I am really talking about. And India. So India, what should be there? It is about India. It should be about automation. It should be about public libraries. Then only I want it. So that's how and means this is a kind of intersection of these concepts is and. R means I said nutrition or food, nutrition or food or diets. Anything is okay for me. External relations or foreign relations or international relations. R means if that is this word is okay, that word is also okay, this word is also okay, then you say R. First one is and means that is the intersection of both the words. Or means either this or this or this or this, etc. That's or. And not means I don't want this, not means. So these three words we are really use and or not in Boolean operators and try to really search information. What I really want is something like I want say for example networking and public libraries. That is networking public libraries. Okay. And at the same time, I don't want anything about what is really done in US or UK. Okay. Not US. So it will retrieve everything, but not US information. So like that, and or not are the three Boolean operators you can use. At the same time, it also uses some kind of, for the numerical or other databases. Now you can give something like that. You give some figure and say that, some number. I want anything published before 2020 only. I want something published after 2020 only. Greater than 2020. Also, you can use it. Okay, less than 2024, you can use it. Or, greater than 2020. 2020 afterwards, published books only, I really want it. So that kind of symbols, greater than, okay, lesser than, equal to, something like that. These symbols also, you can use it apart from the Boolean logic or the Boolean operators. What are they? And, or, not, and or not. These are the three Boolean operators. And I think that bool is one file. Oh, he has really given this, and that's what we use it in indexing systems or in information retrieval systems. The Boolean logic also people call, or Boolean operators it can be called. So only those three operators and or not. Using these three operators, you can very comfortably prepare your own search question or search query, search statement, and then you can retrieve very comfortably